What's up, YouTube? In today's matchup, we got Midnight Veil versus UNCC Black. Looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us today. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this game. Alright, loading into Summoner's Rift, we have Midnight Veil on the blue side versus UNCC Black on the red side. Just looking at these team comps real quick. I like what both teams are trying to accomplish. What I want to see in these team fights is Midnight Veil trying to bait out Vygar's Cage, because Vygar's Cage has a lot of utility in order to stop the engage coming out of the Diana, the Thresh, and even the Urgot. But I think that these team fights are going to get very interesting. But if either team can blow certain summoners or certain spells, it can definitely become one-sided very quickly. Nothing too crazy here. We just have standard 5-point. Just make sure no one invades on either side. Turkey Capper doing a little bit of a BM, trying to dance, get a nice little ward on the Midnight Veil is able to get a nice little ward on the Raptors. Already some smack talk going on in the all chat. Let's see if they can hold up to that end. Both jungles are starting on the top side and working their way by. Here we go. Nice early hook from the Thresh. They're trying to get some decent damage down. Ashe was able to chunk out Euphoric very low. Let's see what happens. He pops his potion, so now he'll be able to withstand a little bit, but this could hurt him in the long run. Hui has a very huge presence when it comes to being a support in the bot lane. So I'm curious to see how they're going to be able to handle that against a Thresh. See right here, UNCC Black, they were able to reach level 2 first, but because of that bad trade in the beginning, they actually had to back off. And I think that if they would have checked the bush first and didn't lose as much health, when they got that level 2 first, they had the advantage. They actually could have pressed and took Midnight Veil off of some very valuable CS and chunked them out. Flash coming out of the Thresh, play misses, hook misses. Jin with the root. That was a decent trade for both sides. Syndra getting some decent poke out on the Vygar. This Vygar is going to become a problem if they just continue to allow him to farm. He's literally the AP version of Nasus. Ghost popped out of Ashe, flash forward. Exhaust comes down on Jin, Flay hits. Ashe goes down for first blood. But he's going to be able to finish this kill off on the Thresh, landing a double kill for UNCC Black. Jungle's Meat trying to fight over this Scuttle Crab, but it will be secured by Midnight Veil. Hui is just now backing, but I think Hui should have backed fairly earlier because he was able to get a double kill. And the wave state would have been pretty well frozen in the same spot due to where it was. We're gonna see if this harms them or helps them in the future. But Urgot with a nice decent freeze on the top side, waiting for that jungle assistance, which should be coming right about now. Diana's looking for the scuttle, and looks like Diana's pathing up. Midnight Veil, are they gonna be able to set something up? The slow misses. Diana goes in. Here comes UNCC Black. Knockup lands on the Urgot. flash from the volley bears. They're going for a dive. Yone backs out. That was good counter jungling by the volley bear for UNCC Black. Right now we have the dragon that's up. I would like to see who's going to try to prioritize the dragon, who's going to try to prioritize grubs. We may find ourselves having a full-on fight over the dragon. But I think splitting it up in the beginning, giving the first dragon isn't the end of the world. I think trying to grab the first 3 grubs can really help your team in any type of pushing. Quay lands the silence.
Okay.
Nothing too much to come out of that.
Okay.
Midnight Veil needs to play safe because they're chunked out, and Jin has two long swords, two daggers to 2 long swords over the Ashe, so they definitely have the damage. Where Ashe just has some decent attack speed. Thresh with the lantern looking, misses the hook. Diana goes in. Flay lands on the Jin. Here comes the volley bear. He misses off of the Quay. Big hit from the volley bear. Double kill for UNCC Black. There went Diana in, killing the Jin. Was able to neutralize, giving it a 2-for-1. UNCC Black, but it appears that the mid lane, the fear comes out of the Hui, alt lands from the Vygar, killing the Diana. That appears that it's going to be a dragon for UNCC Black. In the top lane, we don't have too much going on here. We have Ice just trying to do as much damage as possible while he can because he's Yone. Urgot's doing the best he can to make sure that he can just get some decent poke, as well as farm at XP. Midnight Veil's been doing very well about landing CS and staying in XP range. I like this because in the long run, that definitely can benefit them if they have the levels and items, even if they don't have the kills. Quay in the mid lane, flashes, fears the Syndra is continuing to push forward. Diana has to jump off, lands the ult on Hui. Down goes Hui. Here comes Volibear, ults over the wall. Syndra is able to scatter the weak, get him away. Vygar flashes, puts a cage around him, able to execute the Syndra. Turkey Capper looking for a dive. During that scrimmage, Diana was actually unable to secure one grub for Midnight Veil because he had to come assist the Syndra. And due to that, UNCC Black was able to not only get the first drag, but able to get all 3 grubs, putting them in a great position with a 1K gold lead. UNCC Black's doing very well about trying to make sure that they have priority, or that they're not overstepping at any point in time. But with this way, they can definitely push and clear waves extremely fast, especially because this way is going AP and is already 3-1. This Vygar is going to continue to stack and will become a huge threat. And these team fights are going to be, Midnight Veil is going to have to prioritize staying around all the AoE that Quay can push out, as well as from the cage from the Vygar, and bait out the ultimate. Personally, I think that the Syndra is going to have to try and execute the Vygar as quickly as possible. Scatter the weak, pushes Vygar back. I think if Vygar could land that ult, Syndra might die. Hui able to stop the back off of Ashe. Fear lands. There comes the ult out of Hui. Fourth and final shot landing for her Euphoric. Sorry, landing out of Euphoric for the kill on Ashe. UNCC Black's in a great position. Ashe arrow goes wide. Flash flay out of the thresh. Hooks in. Syndra's able to get the kill with the assistance of Diana. This puts Diana in a somewhat even state with the Vygar. What I want to see here is them push this out and Syndra back immediately, which is going to happen. That's good. Syndra doesn't have TP. Syndra needs to make sure that he can be able to come back to the lane and not miss out on too much farm. If he would have stayed for that plate, he could have put himself very far behind. Just trying to be greedy for a plate. I like what both teams are doing. They're feeling each other out. Even though Midnight Veil is slightly behind, they're still not out of this yet. As the time goes on, though, they have very good scaling. UNCC Black has a very good scaling opportunity, and it will be able to not only just clear waves effectively, but also be able to. Nope, hold on, here comes Diana. Ult on Vygar. Vygar puts a cage up. A Q lands out of Syndra, getting the kill on Vygar. Now we see Diana and Syndra rotating bot, but they're caught out by vision. UNCC Black sees this, but it still appears that they're roaming up, putting themselves into it. Ashe arrow lands on Hui. Diana jumps in. Jim was already too far away, landed a root, but that's one kill going over for Midnight Veil. UNCC Black has a lot of vision on this bot side. Some of it's going to get cleared out by Midnight Veil, but UNCC Black knew where everybody was. They knew where everyone was rotating. Curtain calling coming out of the Jhin. Hook goes wide. Vygar and Syndra just trying to chunk each other out. This Yone is doing extremely well about making sure that the Urgot can't flip him. He's playing that matchup extremely well. Hook goes wide from Kingmaker. Oh, we have a fight over the Grub. TP comes in from the Vygar. Yone ult lands on 2. Getting a kill for UNCC Black. Cage, huge cage, blocking both of them in. Syndra drops down. Urgot has to flash over the wall, and this will be 6 grubs in total for UNCC Black. This is huge for them. Huge pushing power. Hui and Jhin able to keep the pressure on because they know that no one else is down here. Between Hui's wave clear and Jin's Q, they can easily wipe the wave out, and they can secure some of these plates with 6 grubs. They do a lot of damage to these towers, putting them in a very great position. Ult comes out of Hui. Big damage. Can Jhin get the final kill? Jhin flashes forward, gets the final kill. And they're not going to look for any more. Oh. Flash comes out of Ashe, just barely missing death. Flip onto the Yone. Urgot's doing the best that he can to try to secure farm and put pressure on this Yone, but Yone's doing a very good job in this matchup. And first tower goes to UNCC Black. So we have Herald up right now. Midnight Veil should be able to secure this because UNCC Black is nowhere near it. Hook lands on Vygar with the Syndra ult to execute him. Midnight Veil is going to be able to secure this Herald. Some chip damage coming out of Hui onto Kingmaker. Now because the Diana has Herald, I want to see them I want to see them hold on to it until a little bit of time comes up. Hook lands onto the Volibear. Everyone's jumping in. Here comes 3-man ult out of Diana. Huge damage landing onto the Jhin. Down goes Jhin. Hook lands on Hui. Here comes Diana. Can Diana save the Thresh? Yes, she can. Triple kill for Midnight Veil. Scatter the Weak pushes back to Vygar. Vygar is unable to get the kill on Ashe. Throws his ult in desperation and is unable to kill the Syndra, and that would be 4 for 0 Midnight Veil. Midnight Veil drops the Herald. I like this. Is able to get pressure off of it. They should be able to secure most. Okay, so Diana's not going to be able to push it, but they will have huge damage on the second tier tower mid, which unlocks a lot of the map for Midnight Veil to be able to push into their jungle and set up for picks prior to this dragon coming up in a minute. Turkey Capper just clearing his jungle. It would appear that he's just gonna path bot side, so he's there for this dragon that comes up. UNCC Black has been doing very good about having vision and clearing vision. I want to see them continue to do the same thing prior to this dragon coming up. They definitely can win these fights, but the goal lead is closed since that 4 for 0. Scatter the Weak lands on Volibear. Cage lands on Ashe. Curtain Calling coming out of Jhin, looking for poke damage, unable to get anything out of it. The Fear lands on Diana. Here comes Yone. Knock up. 2-man ult. Yone landing on Syndra. Syndra goes down. Vygar's getting focused. Vygar's go down to the Ashe. Midnight Veil is up 2-1. UNCC Black is able to secure another kill. And that's three for 1 UNCC Black. Hui's looking for the final kill on this Ashe. Can Hui find it? Fear on Ashe, making it a 4 for 1 UNCC Black, and a second dragon for their team.
Why?
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
UNCC Black is able to unlock the mid lane by taking down that tier 1 mid tower, giving them the opportunity as well for any possible picks and vision control from whichever side of the jungle they decide to pick. Right now, because Baron's not for another 2 minutes and Dragon's still not for another 5, right now I want to see both teams just try to prioritize keeping their lanes cleared, gathering CS, and these jungles continuing to pick up as much farm as they can in their jungles. Right now, it would be nice for them to try and slow the pace down, not look for anything stupid, and continue to build up their items and try and get an item lead for whatever next objective comes up. Ashe arrow goes wide in the mid lane. Thresh hook comes out on the Volibear. Scatter the Weak lands on Hui. Syndra with the execute on Hui. Syndra should be able to push that bottom lane with no interruptions. It's things like that can make a team ahead or behind in simple things like that. Syndra's unopposed in the bot lane, being able to push and take this tower. She should be able to get this tower before the Vygar even appears. And as long as Melch backs off as soon as the tower is gone, which he does, that's a great take, great pick, and good gold into the pockets of Midnight Veil. We have Baron's coming up in 10 seconds, so whether or not either one of these teams wants to actually try to prioritize Baron right now, it may or may not be a smart decision, but there's not going to be any 20-minute rush. Though making sure that the supports have at least some type of vision on Baron at all times should be a priority out of both teams, just to make sure that no one can sneak it. But right now, I think that Baron shouldn't be the priority, and they should just continue to farm out on both sides and wait for the possible setup. Ashe arrow goes wide in the mid lane. TP comes out of the Syndra. I think these teams should just wait it out, wait for Dragon. Flash comes over the wall from Thresh. Hook lands on the Volibear. Diana goes in, misses ult. Fear lands on a Diana. Huge two-man ult from the Yone with a Quay ult. Able to secure 2 kills, UNCC Black. And Midnight Veil is gonna have to run away. They're unable to contest the rest of that fight. That was huge. That was huge at the UNCC Black. They were able to layer their ultimates and their slows, and Yone able to group everybody up for that mega burst off of Hui's ult. On top of the burn from Blackfire that he has. Huge execute damage coming from the Hui. Landing on the Ashe. Midnight Veil has to be careful of that. Ashe and Urgot and Yone going back and forth. Yone's not going to win that. Ultimate lands from the Diana onto the Hui. Hui goes down. He was exhausted by the Thresh before he died. I don't think that was smart. I think that the Thresh should have held onto his exhaust. He's going to need it probably for this Yone and or Veigar in the next fight coming up. Dragon in 45 seconds. And Thresh is not going to have that exhaust. Midnight Veil looking for a pick on this Veigar. Cage was able to slow him. Ashe arrow lands on him. Down goes Veigar. UNCC Black was unable to rotate to that, but that's a lot of damage coming out of. That's a lot of damage that's dead for UNCC Black. I don't know if they're gonna be able to contest this. Hook lands on the Volibear. In goes Midnight Veil. Volibear has to ult out. Quay lands his ultimate. Here comes huge damage coming out of the Jhin from the curtain calling. Stun lands on the Jhin. He barriers. Syndra was able to burst him down though. Veigar's up. Here comes the TP out of Veigar from the mid lane. Midnight Veil's gonna have to back off of this. Dayax is almost dead. He definitely gonna have to leave. They're gonna have to give up this third dragon. Especially with no jungle to contest the smite for 50-50, this is an easy third dragon for UNCC Black. Kings are coming down. They're looking for the pick. Cage lands on the Urgot. Down goes Urgot. Ashe arrow flies in, able to stun the Veigar. But nothing else is going to come of that. That's a huge pick. UNCC Black, will they be able to secure the tier 2 tower on the bot side? Remember, Hui has a crazy wave clear. So they're going to be able to push this. I think, personally, they just need to back up, reset, and spend their gold. They had a huge fight before that dragon. UNCC Black needs to spend their gold because there's a up-and-coming fight happening for this Baron. I think right now that they're overstaying and they had great advantage beforehand. They just need to not rush it and give up their advantage. It would appear that UNCC Black's gonna start setting up vision for around this Baron. I think that's smart, making sure that they have some type of knowledge, even though they haven't backed yet, to spend their gold. If Midnight Veil sees this, they should be able to rush it, but it doesn't appear. Hui lands the fear. Ultimate comes out of the Vygar. Ultimate comes out of the Hui. Down goes Thresh before the fight even really starts. Midnight Veil has to back up. This could be a Baron. The pings are going down for UNCC Black to start the Baron. Let's see what happens. Ultimate out of the Ash coming in. Yone looking for it. They stop the Baron. Curtain calling, opening up. Volibear ulted. Two-man ult from Diana going in. Everyone's turns, they focus onto Diana. Down goes the Diana. Ultimate landing from the Yone. Down goes Jin. Down goes Volibear. Down goes Syndra. This is a crazy fight. Midnight Veil is able to come back and secure 4 kills for 2. And stopping their Baron chances. These fights are crazy back and forth. Even though there's a 2K gold lead on UNCC Black, they're going in one by one, and Midnight Veil is able to capitalize on it. Diana is doing exactly what she should be doing in these fights. She's looking for the big ults on the carries in the back. He makes sure that he dives in and tries to get as close as possible in that last fight. He definitely tried to get to the Jin during the curtain calling, but he was just short. And he would have been able to land a 3-man ult. Both teams are doing very well, knowing what they want to do and rotating. It's very what I like seeing here is that both teams don't really go in one by one for the most part. Everything's together. They're working as a team, and I like what I'm seeing here. Dragon's coming up. This is Soul Point. Comes up in a minute. Stun lands on the Urgot. Urgot's trying to just get away. He has to flash. The rest of Midnight Veil is coming down. Ash Arrow comes in. Just goes through the uprights of Turkey Cavern and Euphoric. Literally threading the needle. Yone goes in. Huge damage on Melch. Melch is going to have to back. He's risking it by trying to clear the wave, but I think Melch just needs to back. Especially with Dragon coming up. He needs to have a full health bar, and he has TP, but so does the Urgot Midnight Veil. Able to respond to the Dragon coming up very quickly, but they need pressure in these side lanes. Yone has been split pushing for the majority of the game and is up two levels over top of the Urgot, so he's extremely strong just based off of base stats. TP came out of the Syndra. Hook goes in onto the Volibear. Volibear ults out. Thresh is stunned, dead from the Jin. Yone ult on 2. Vygar ult. Urgot able to land the fear. Down goes Volibear. And Midnight Veil is trying to just run away while they can. But that was a 3 for 2 in favor of UNCC Black. Will they be able to secure this Dragon? Ash Arrow goes in, lands on Vygar. Scatter the Weak, pushing back the Jin. Dragon at 5k health. Both teams, neither one have a jungle. They're both kind of low. And they're just going to give this Dragon up. Midnight Veil doing the best they can to make sure that UNCC Black was unable to secure that 4th and final Dragon for Soul Point. Both teams trying to keep pressure, trying to keep the lane pressures pushed for their favor. Midnight Veil off respawn comes straight back to the dragon. They're trying to secure this dragon before UNCC Black, but here comes UNCC Black. Scout of the week on Jin. Down goes Jin. Just executed immediately. TP coming out of the Vigar. Midnight Veil was able to secure that dragon. In goes Midnight Veil. Big ult on the back line from a Diana. Volibear trying to kill. We got two fronts going on here. Yone was able to clean up. Yone and Vigar were able to clean up the Diana in the Ashe. UNCC Black getting a clean sweep. And ultimately it was a ace for nothing because Jin wasn't even there to begin with. But an ace for UNCC Black. UNCC Black appears that they're trying to beeline for the Baron while they still can. All five are dead. Ashe and Syndra will be up first. No TP off the Syndra. So this is looking like it'll be a pretty free Baron for UNCC Black. UNCC Black backing off of that Baron. Gonna spend their gold. They're sitting in a very good position right now. Urgot, I see Urgot has a Bramble Vest, but I still think that that's not going to be enough just for the Yone. The Yone has a lot of lifesteal, and just that one Bramble Vest, if Yone lands an ultimate and doesn't even touch the Urgot, he can continue to heal himself. I think Ashe should have an Executioner's Calling because he's be the easiest one to proc it. Ult goes in off the Diana looking for the play. Vigar lands the ult on Diana and just completely execute. Volibear ults in. They're looking for the Thresh. Down goes Ashe. Down goes Thresh. Down goes Syndra. Triple kill. And a 4-0 UNCC Black in a very strong position to try to end this game. UNCC Black breaking open the base, taking this tower. They have the minions. If Volibear should be trying to tank at least one of these towers, but they have the position to be able to secure it. Ult comes out of the Vigar. TP coming in from the Yone just to help keep the minions alive, and this should be game for UNCC Black. GG's both teams. UNCC Black winning, but both teams did phenomenal. They had a lot of great plays, and both teams played exceptionally well.